Today, I'm going to show you the best insulin-resistant diet for menopause weight loss. Isn't it strange that now that you're going through menopause, you just can't eat what you used to and stay in shape? You're a lot more sensitive to carbs now. Even a little bit of sugar or starch seems to cause weight gain. That's because as we age, we naturally are less sensitive to insulin. And insulin is the hormone produced by your pancreas that escorts glucose into your cells. Glucose is the fuel for energy production. So if you become resistant to insulin, then you can't get enough glucose into your cells, which means you produce less energy. Lower energy production means lower metabolism. So that little bit of carbs you eat now gets stored as body fat. But wait. You crave carbs because you don't have enough energy. I get it. Let me show you what you need to eat to reverse your menopausal insulin resistance. Phase 1. When you wake up in the morning, drink a cup of hot lemon water. I know, you love your coffee, me too. But hot lemon water stimulates your liver to dump bile and clear its bile ducts. Your colon will clean out too. And more importantly, yesterday's toxins will be released with your bowel movement. You need a clean start for the day. Then you can have your coffee or tea. After that, and before you eat breakfast, get outside and exercise for 20 minutes. Sunshine and activity will stimulate your metabolism. You thought I was just going to talk about food, didn't you? By this time, if you went to bed at a decent hour and you didn't eat too close to bedtime, you've been fasting for 10 to 12 hours. That's great. You've just had an intermittent fast, which is yet another way to stimulate your metabolism to lose weight and keep in shape during menopause. And now you finally get to eat. You're not hungry yet. Really? Well, you have to break your fast and reset your metabolism. So get used to having breakfast, okay? So what's for breakfast? I like to have whole-fat Greek yogurt with fresh fruit and chopped nuts, coconut, or homemade granola. And a couple times a week, a couple of fried eggs and greens with tomatoes and avocado. Or if I'm running late, I'll make a smoothie with coconut milk, frozen fruit, some kind of protein powder, and maybe a handful of greens. Note, I didn't talk about any starchy carbs, no added sugars. Carbs come from fruits and veggies. Lots of color, different fruits every morning. Mango, berries, pineapple, melon, apples for antioxidants. Always protein, yogurt, eggs, whey or hemp protein, and fat, avocado, coconut milk, and nuts. Then I go about my day working, playing, always moving, because being sedentary slows down your metabolism. Now, lunch and dinner are pretty similar. I usually have leftovers for lunch or make a salad. Some type of protein, fish, poultry, meat, nuts, seeds, always fat. I use extra virgin olive oil to cook and to dress my salad. Sometimes goat or sheep cheese, more nuts and seeds. They're rich in healthy fats. And I eat the skin of the chicken and the salmon and don't shy from grass-fed beef fat. Trying to get 1/3 of my fat from saturated fats, usually animal sources. But coconut is also a good plant-based source of saturated fat. That's because healthy cell membranes need saturated fat to make healthy receptor sites for hormones, including insulin, and just to stay hydrated. If your mouth, your vagina, your skin, your nails, your hair are healthy and supple, it's a good indication that your cells are juicy and hydrated too. And lots of veggies, roasted and sauteed in olive oil mostly. I don't steam or boil my veggies because I want every molecule of nutrients, and olive oil is the best fat for the job. If I cook on a higher heat over 450 degrees, like stir frying, I use avocado, grapeseed, or coconut oil. Yes, and I eat raw veggies, but not being an herbivore like my horse, I know my digestive tract doesn't make cellulase, the enzyme needed to break down the plant sugar cellulose, so I get most of my nutrients from cooked veggies. And lots of variety, mostly locally grown, always organic. I don't want to consume pesticides. When you're still insulin resistant, you may crave sugar after lunch. It's okay to have a little bit of fruit, or until you're more sensitive to your insulin and start using your stored body fat for energy, you can get my recipe for cocoa energy balls, which really helps with the sugar cravings, in the description below. Remember, dinner looks just like lunch. No starchy carbs, that means no grains. And if you want to lose that body fat, no alcohol. Don't worry, you can have some wine eventually, just not in the first phase of my menopausal insulin resistance diet. Now, the secret to dinner is when you eat. No eating after dark, period. Your metabolism is sluggish after dark. Your body is shutting down to go into sleep mode. Anything you eat late gets pretty much stored as fat, especially when you're middle-aged and especially if you're insulin resistant. Now follow this routine for 3 weeks. That's it, just 3 weeks. Always balanced, low glycemic carbs, meaning they don't turn into sugar quickly, so your blood sugar stays stable. Whole foods, nothing processed for the most nutrition. Protein and fat at every meal to build new tissue and hormones and enzymes, neurotransmitters, and keep your blood sugar stable so you can reverse insulin resistance. And lots of colorful veggies with a little fruit. Now phase 2 begins after 3 weeks. Now you can introduce 1 carb, a whole grain perhaps, that wine you're missing, but always before dusk. No starchy carbs after dark though, and the earlier in the day the better, but absolutely no refined sugars. If you begin to gain weight when you start to introduce those carbs, your body is not yet sensitive enough to insulin, so go back to the first phase for another week or 2. You'll get there. With exercise and hypothalamic support, you'll get your body back